Great artists are often remembered for their voices, their songs, and their awards, but rarely for the boundaries they draw. Aretha Franklin, the undisputed Queen of Soul, spent most of her life letting the music speak for her. Yet behind the power and poise was a woman who understood something deeply. Respect was not optional, and legacy was not up for negotiation. In her later years, as she looked back on a lifetime in music, she became more open about moments when that respect had been tested and withheld. Aretha came from an era where titles were not marketing tools, but honors earned through endurance, struggle, and excellence. To her, being called the Queen of Soul was not a compliment casually passed around. It was a recognition rooted in gospel, civil rights, and decades of vocal mastery. That is why moments that others viewed as harmless often landed differently with her. When newer generations of artists used royal language loosely or spoke about soul music as something of the past, Aretha heard more than words. She heard history being rewritten. Her reactions were rarely loud. Instead, they were deliberate. She declined invitations, avoided collaborations, and withdrew quietly but completely. In an industry that thrives on public conflict, her silences were often louder than arguments. To those who knew her well, these decisions were not about ego but about principle. Aretha had fought too hard and too long to allow her work or her place in music to be diminished, even unintentionally. What stands out most about these stories is not anger, but restraint. Aretha did not rush to interviews or social media. She did not trade insults or chase relevance. When she spoke, it was measured. When she walked away, it was final. She believed that artistry required dignity, and dignity required boundaries. If someone crossed them through carelessness, arrogance, or dismissal, she simply removed them from her world. There is a temptation to label this as grudges or diva behavior, but that interpretation misses the larger truth. For a Black woman who came of age in an industry that routinely undervalued her voice, respect was survival. Every note she sang was earned in a system that often tried to take credit without giving acknowledgement. Holding the line was not bitterness. It was preservation. In her final years, Aretha allowed a few of these stories to surface, not to settle scores, but to set the record straight. She was not interested in revenge. She was interested in clarity. She wanted the world to understand that greatness does not mean endless tolerance, and that even legends are allowed to say no. Aretha Franklin left behind more than music. She left behind a lesson. Talent opens doors, but self-respect decides which ones stay open. The Queen of Soul did not rule by volume or spectacle. She ruled by knowing her worth and refusing to let anyone forget it.